Hi, I'm Greg Bickle, Third Degree Training. This is the actual installation and how to wire the green machine with Third Degree Training. What we have here, we have the control board. You have your 120 coming in that gets converted over to 12 volt. We're going to start right here at the main circuit feed. When you get your kit, everything will come in the Pelican case. You'll have to get all your wires out. It's pretty self-explanatory, but as I show you this instructional video, you'll gain how they go. This is our main feed. This is the backbone gist that's going to come off of our main feed and feed our riser. You can pick any color, how you design to do it. We do it the same way every time. We're going to put this into our neutral right here, and then you're going to have your A, your B, and your C feed. We have the power's in, the switch is off while you're installing everything. Now coming into the back side of your riser, wherever you pick for your 3 phases is exactly how it's going to come across on the front side. If you come in on the back left, it's going to come in directly how it shows. So I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to plug in my neutral. I'm going to plug in, for me, this is going to be my A, my B, and my C. So as you see it, A, B, C, on the front side of your riser, it's going to be A, B, C. This is going to be your neutral. So now I've got my power. So now I'm going to come from my riser, just like in the field. I'm going to come from my riser and come in and supply my power. So coming around here, this is also going to be in your kit. This is going to be your feeder. What you have here, now as I explained it, we're going to have red, white, blue, A, B, C. So you're going to have red, white, and blue right there. So now you have essentially are feeding to the green machine. So now here's our feed. When we do ours, we use the inline jumpers. That way we can feed both the 3-phase and the single phase at the same time. So basically you are going to take your red, your A, your B, and your C, and you've now fed your inline jumper board, okay? So we're going to now go to our first transformer, which is on the front side. Now we are going to wire this up like best case scenario in the field. Everything's right. Coming in on your A, going out on your B, which when I say that, I mean the H1A, H1B. So I'm going to take, this is going to be my first transformer on my single phase loop. This is going to be my first transformer on my 3-phase loop. So I'm going to go ahead, put my wires through. On my 3-phase, the wires that we sent through, now this is how we do it, okay? You might change your color schemes on your wires or change things and acclimate them to how you do it, because you are going to be the one wiring and unwiring this thing as you need it. So when I feed my single phase power through, we have a white wire on there, just basically saying this is your feed wire that feeds your single phase system. On the 3-phase system, we don't put anything on these wires, and I'll show you why. So as we come to the back side here, now since it's white, I'm just going to go ahead and use that as my B phase because it matches how I do it. So you're going to put that right on the inline jumper, and now you have fed your single phase system off a B phase circuit. Now for here, you're going to have to, and this teaches you as you build the system, because you need to know that you're right. So, so first wire here, you're going to have this. You're going to choose this to be your A circuit. So you're going to plug it in. Make sure that you have the proper elbow. Come around, put it into your A side. H1A is going to be your A. You're going to come around here. You're going to go ahead, plug into your B. Make sure the wire that you plugged in, see it there? So you're going to go ahead, make sure you have B as B, plug it in, and then obviously your last one's going to be C. Go ahead and plug your C in. I'm going to walk around to the other side. You'll teach yourself the best way to do this, the simplest way to do this every time you do it. So now currently we have power from our power source into the back side of the riser, out of the riser into our inline jumper, and we have fed the single phase and we have fed the three-phase transformers. So right now we have a radial feed and we have the start to the process. So I'm going to separate now and just build a single phase loop, and then I'll step back and I'll build a three-phase loop. So here we have transformer. We're basically building a backbone system here. We have our power in. H1B is going to be our power out. So we're going to take it out. Now the next transformer, obviously the in, is going to be our H1A. So we're going to take the wire from it. We're going to put it through the back. You're going to come around to the back of the machine, and you are going to essentially put this splice in here, and now we're going from one transformer to the other. The reason for the splice is so that you can take it apart and put it together. You can use it to show your fault and no fault, as we showed earlier with our high potting. All right, we're going to switch back and forth multiple times to the front and back of the board, and you're basically going to build a backbone system. So now we've come in, we've come out, we've come in. Now we're coming out of H1B. We're going to go over to our other single phase transformer, which is going to come in on our H1A. And again, simply, we're going to come to the back, splice them together, and just transformer to transformer to transformer, just like out in the field. Now we are going to complete our loop circuit. You can have a radial feed or a loop feed. So we have our main circuit on the back. So I'm going to come out of the single phase transformer. We're going to come around and we're going to plug in to the B phase. Just like we fed in with the B phase, we're going to come around with our loop system and plug into the B phase. So right now we have a single phase loop system. I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the standoff and put it into H1B so we have an actual complete loop system. This is going to be our normal open. So now we have a complete loop system on our single phase circuit. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and show you three phase. Now, like I told you earlier, we did not put any markings or any tape on these wires. That way I can show you how we do it. Here we have this set of wires with our elbows. And as you can tell, I've got a white, a red, and a blue, A, B, and C, and they only have one ring of tape on them. That's so I know that that is coming from my first transformer. So I'll go ahead and I'll know C phase, B phase, and my A phase. All right, and since they have one swab of tape on them, I know they're coming from the first can. Now over here, I'll go to the second transformer, and just as the first has one, the second has two. So I'm going to put them, I'm going to plug them in so I know, that my phases are right. C, B, and A. I'm going to stick them through, come around to the back side, and just match up the colors. Okay, so now I've got A, I've got coming from my first can, I've got A coming from my first can, I have B, and C. So just like on the single phase, we have the three phase. I'm going to do it again. I come up here, grab the wires again, two tapes on them so we know they're coming from the second transformer. We're going to head to the third transformer. Make sure our phasing is correct. white's going to be B, blue's going to be C, and then again we have red going to be A. And we're going to stick those through, get them hanging in the back. We're going to go straight to our third transformer and grab the wires that each have 3 tapes on them. Go ahead and make sure our phasing is correct. So we've got white for B, red for A, and blue for C. Go ahead and put them through. Come around to the back side, and the 3 wires you have coming from 2 will connect to 3. Make sure our color coding matches up so we know our phases are right. We didn't roll anything. Don't want to set off an audible tone. Then we're going to go back around to the front side. And again, since we're going to make a loop system, we're going to come back in on the main circuit feed. So these last 3 wires have no tape on them. So you're going to want to make sure you independently take each wire. We're going to stick it through. A goes into A, comes to the back. A goes into A. And we're just going to do this, one at a time independently. Plug B into B. Come around. B phase. Plug in your C. Come around. Plug into your C phase. Now, we should have a complete powers into the board, feeding the riser, coming out of the front of the riser, back around to our inline jumpers. Single phase is going into the single phase, creating a loop system, coming back to the board. 3 phase coming out of the inline jumpers into our first can, to our second can, to our third can, back around to our main circuit feed. So now we have 2 loop systems, one for the 3 phase, one for the single phase. So when you turn it on, since it's correct, we have no audible sounds, we haven't rolled any phases, we haven't flipped any phases. Right now, we don't have any normal open set. We are running a complete loop system from the riser to the feed on the back. We do have a normal open in our single phase system. So we currently do have a circuit coming into this transformer, but it does match. Just to show how all the wires go in and for information, we left the center divider out. When you go to put your board together, you're going to need to have the center divider in. Pushing in, pulling out elbows, and setting up your system, you're going to want to make sure that it's stable. This is a center divider. It goes right into this slot that's routed into the table, into the board, and there you go. When you're pushing in and pulling out, this is all you're going to need. It causes stability. And we also use this for separation, for when you're teaching people how to switch, that they actually have to announce where they're at and what they're doing. Thank you.